Warning! This podcast contains aliens.
Duh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 2, Episode 7. What was that? Boop?
Boop.
Boop! Boop! Invasion! Exclamation mark. I'm your host, Clio. With me, I have Rachel, Nikki, and Dom.
How's it going?
Almost forgot all of your names. I'm so tired. Good.
I'm actually here.
Yes! Welcome back. So what did you think of the other three crossover episodes I see you watched?
I love how you almost said the other two.
No, I was saying three. I meant to say three.
I like how Barry and Cisco came into Supergirl, but that was pretty much all there was, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Cisco bugged the hell out of me because it didn't matter what people were saying to him. He was just like uber bitch mode to Barry, but I mean, some of it's justified a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the strongest one out of the four was Legends. I liked Arrow next, and then Flash, and then I don't really want to count Supergirl because there wasn't enough for me to classify that as a crossover episode.
Mm-hmm. And Dom, it was interesting. You were saying the Flash crossover felt like a Flash episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Arrow episode felt like an Arrow episode. This one didn't feel like Legends. I don't know what it felt like.
It did to me, though, because there was time travel and...
I mean, yeah, but that was only a small part of the episode. That was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very powerful 10 minutes.
You're not wrong.
No, but it was really good. I mean, Cisco and Felicity.
Tech support. Somebody call tech support.
They were awesome.
Sure.
They had me rolling.
Oh god, I could not even mention every single joke they had this episode just because there were so many, and I was laughing at every turn.
Hey, Skirt, call me.
Oh god, and Cora was just like, what?
Then you start thinking about, well, they'd actually be kind of cute together, but that'd be weird.
It'd be a very, very weird couple.
Weird.
Yeah.
It would be. They'd be that couple that would work. You know what I mean? It'd just be like that really odd couple. Yeah. You're like, you don't think it would work, but for some odd reason it does. Yeah. You're like, you don't know why it does. It just does.
Yep.
I've known quite a few of those couples.
Yeah, but no, I agree with Nikki and Brian in chat that out of all the episodes and crossover, this one was the best. I 100% agree with that.
I felt it was the strongest out of the four, definitely.
I think that might have something to do with Cisco getting his head out of his butt.
Yeah.
No. I mean, no. I think it was just like the fact that they all worked together. Well, except they're like, you gotta stay on the ship. But I understand that because, Felicity and Cisco aren't really meant for field work.
No. So,
I mean, but...
And even in that last confrontation, Sarah was in the Wave Rider with Cisco, and Cisco was not helping.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, shut up.
He's like, you're slowing it down, but by a very, very, very small amount. She's like, you're not helping. Sit down.
I loved when, I mean, I can't say I loved, but when Cisco was like, oh no, time travel, count me in, I jumped up and I was like, you hypocrite!
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god, I was so mad. And then it worked out and I was okay.
He realized that he was being a hypocrite.
Right.
It's like, shit.
That's what made it okay.
Yeah. And the thing was, he wasn't looking at what Barry did as going back in time to save people.
Right.
He saw it as going back in time selfishly.
Right. Which
I think he was not seeing
hand in
them
hand.
as
It was both.
Yeah, exactly. But he wasn't seeing them as the same thing until he realized it was the same.
I just like that Felicity called him out on his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you saw it in her face. She's like, "You're my friend. I'm calling you out on your bullshit." And then he pulls the "my brother's dead" card, and she's like, "Ah, shit."
Yeah,
I was hoping Felicity was gonna be like, look, 3 months went by. Who's to say that this wasn't gonna happen? You know.
I'm so
Exactly
shocked
like Iris said.
nobody brought that up.
I was like waiting for her to say, do you think he meant for this to happen? Do you think he even thought that this would happen? Kind of like what we were discussing.
Do we even know that this is part of Flashpoint? That's
exactly.
the other part.
You don't know if it would have happened, maybe in a later date. Maybe it was already destined to happen. We just don't know.
Well, because it happened
because
during the
Flashpoint-
3 months that Barry was in Flashpoint, which means that Barry wasn't around on Earth, which meant it could have just happened normally without Flashpoint as well, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. The same thing with Caitlin's powers.
Yeah.
And that might have eventually come to pass also. So there's no
I mean, it could have.
telling, no way to tell.
He could have sped it up or slowed it down. It could have been. He could have sped up the process, I guess you would say. Maybe it was always going to happen. He just sped it up a bit.
Yeah, maybe like what Eobard did with those particle accelerator explosions. It exploded 10 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe something like that. But anyway, this episode started with like a nice epic shot of the Hall of Justice. Whatever the bunker is, and I was just like, meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice.
Exactly, I was going through my head too. They had a lot of like those little scenes that you're like, oh, the Justice League, because like when Larry turns around, he has the American flag behind him, and he looks at the team, and they're all standing there, and I'm like, childhood right there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was very patriotic, just like what's his face's suit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was almost
Star
too much.
Spangled Doofus.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think his suit looks good when he's silver. When he's flesh colored, it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
The
I
same.
completely agree.
Like,
Yep.
he should just be steel
What
all
did
the
Nick
time.
call him? A Star Spangled what?
Douchebag?
No, he didn't call him a douchebag.
I don't remember.
I mean, he did call him that. He's like,
He did. He called him Star Spangled something.
I was like, please tell me that this is not like a rib to Captain America. Like that.
No,
as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, are they trying to stick a jab at Captain America right now? Because that's what I felt like.
Yeah, it's a throwback to his grandfather's suit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which looks like a Captain America suit. Which we all know that Marvel and DC have always done that because there's suits in Marvel that look like DC and vice versa. So it goes hand in
There's
hand.
names, that
Even a Deadpool was made as a character to make fun of Slade Wilson. Like that's.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was made for that, and he does it perfectly. So that stuff happens all the time.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's for as long as there's been comics, it's always happened. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna come out with this character. We're gonna come out with this one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So Thea wasn't in this episode. I was a little sad. But obviously traumatic shit just happened, so makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens.
And it gave them time to bring in the other people too. So
And
because otherwise they'd just be a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean there were a lot of people, but they made it work.
Yeah, and that was the exact problem that I was thinking, like, running into this crossover. It's just like, there is way too many people, but just keeping them kind of, some of them exclusive to their own show really kind of made that work. And
Yeah, and they didn't quite do it in this episode, but in the other episodes, whoever was new to the situation, they were like, this is your name, and you're this person, and blah. They went down the line and named everybody off. So it's like, and they made it natural to the dialogue because these people are actually meeting for the first time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something. Oh, it was Kara's conversation with Ollie, where a line she had was, we're gonna get to that hot mess. A line she says like, "Oh, is it because I'm an alien?" And that's a natural line, but that's to remind people who don't watch Supergirl she's an alien.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff like that worked really well.
Yeah.
Well, that whole situation was. It's like you could kind of see both sides, but he was being very douchey about it.
No, okay. Here's the thing. I'll for the life of me, this show can go can go on another 10 years, and I still won't get half the things Ollie does. Why? Like, I don't get it.
Well, it's his first time dealing with aliens. And
The
it
thing
is a
is,
little
though-
jarring, and, he was abducted by them. I understand, but at the same time, he was being a complete douchebag.
The Dominators look like fucking monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, straight out of XCOM. I mentioned this before.
Yes.
Kara looks like a fucking human being. Treat her like one. She acts like one as well. I mean, at the end, she's all like in her getup, her Kara getup, and
Oh, I love
Ollie's
that.
just kind of like,
Her
He's like,
Wednesday
"Oh."
Addams outfit.
and it was, I don't understand Ollie. That's probably the reason why I don't watch Arrow, because I can't stand him at all.
Yeah.
And since he's the main character, what's the point? If I don't like the main character, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know. Just something I didn't get when Ray says she kind of looks like my cousin.
He played Superman
Oh, that's right.
in that movie that sucks.
The movie. Okay,
That
that
was bad.
explains it. I never saw it, so that would explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I loved that line. That line was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one, so.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
Superman
That's why.
Returns?
Yeah, see, I did. I
Nope.
was like, what? Am I missing something?
Yeah, it went pew, right over my head. But
And then he's like-
I accepted it, whatever.
Yeah.
We get that a lot though, because on Arrow, there's one of the new recruits that's working with him, wears a hockey mask, and I mentioned on the podcast, I go, when Ollie goes, "Oh, I like the mask," I go, that was a direct reference to Stephen Amell playing Casey Jones in the new Ninja Turtles movie, because he wears the hockey mask, just like, and Cleo's like, oh my god, that went right over my head. So like all of these references like that, not everybody's meant to catch them. They're there
Well,
for the
see,
people
when-
in the
when
know.
we
If you
first
caught
saw-
it, great, kind of.
When we first saw him in the hockey mask, I go, that reminds me of Casey Jones from
Yes.
Ninja Turtles. That was
Yeah.
my first when I first saw him. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And was it Renee and Dig that made an appearance in this episode? It was Diggle and somebody else. I think it was Renee. They both kind of just showed up and was like, "Hey, we're helping."
I don't remember now.
I can't remember if it was right because it was Diggle and somebody else from Team Arrow, and I can't remember.
I
who
remember
it was.
Diggle, but I don't remember
Mhm.
anybody else.
Yeah, because the other person didn't have lines. They were just sort of there.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah.
They're kind of forgetful, unfortunately.
Anyway. Nate does his historian thing, and he's like, 1951, we'll go capture a Dominator. And they go and they try, and they get captured by the Vaygate Menacing Government Agency, which we don't get a name for. They're never named, right?
They just call them the Men in Black. Ha, ha.
Yeah,
Do they call them
that's what Cisco was calling him.
Yeah.
Oh, Cisco was calling them the Men in Black, yeah.
Of
Okay,
course
but
he
We
would.
don't, of course he would. But we don't get an official name for them.
No.
And
No.
I think Supergirl,
She does say his name.
she says his name, but she says it so fast, and I was too busy.
I know,
with
I
the
didn't.
fact that she was
She
sending him to
Did
Antarctica.
talk really fast at that point, and he was shitting his pants afterwards. So
Oh yeah.
Well, she kind
Yeah.
of alluded to the fact that they're setting up the DEO.
They are, yes.
Mhm.
So
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So they're gonna have their
Yeah.
own Department of Extraterrestrial Organization. What is that? What
I can't remember what the DEO stands for.
I think that's
I
what it
mean-
stands for.
Are they going to kind of like slash metahuman that too? Because, I mean, that's what's predominantly on Earth one at this moment.
I don't think so because it seems like
Department of Extra Normal Operations.
extra. There we go. Oh, that could encompass it too then, because
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
just it's extra normal. It's not just
Extraterrestrial.
extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll probably encompass both.
Perfect. They need something like that.
They do, especially since there are now aliens.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll find this Earth's Martian Manhunter, and he can run it, and everything's gonna be fine.
All we know is that the old douchebag is going to Antarctica.
Yes.
Dress in
Which-
layers.
Oh yeah, that was
I
funny.
feel like that's gonna set something up for something that they find in Antarctica.
It has to. And I was racking my brain. I couldn't think of
I can't either.
anything that happens in Antarctica. And I know there's stuff in the DCU where it's like, something crash lands in Antarctica or whatever the fuck. But I just could not think of, she called him Agent Smith.
Yeah, that would be another Men in Black reference then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they always just name their
Agent
agents
J
with
and
letters.
Matrix.
Agent
K,
J and Agent...
J and K.
Oh, yeah.
But Agent
Agent-
Oh,
Smith was
Smith is
from
Matrix. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matrix.
I was like, wait a minute, no, that's not.
But anyway, there's just something about the Dominator, something about the vague yet menacing government agency didn't seem wrapped up at all.
No.
Like, sure, they
definitely
went
not.
away. Sure, this guy
Yeah,
got
it's like
transferred.
that
but
confusing.
they're
It's like
still
all of a
there.
sudden they start feeling pain and they just go away.
Yeah.
It's like we're missing something.
There's a problem with that. Because the whole reason the Dominators are here is to assess whether the metahumans are a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got fought off, they were all in pain, obviously they're going to perceive that as a threat and they're going to come back with an actual army.
Yeah, which
And
this
I
was
think-
not.
That was a scouting.
This was...
They had
Yeah.
trouble with the scouting party.
Yep.
They're in trouble.
That future Barry message is still valid. You know, it's still there. It's still valid. You
It
know.
is future Barry, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like diplomacy could work.
Yeah.
Because clearly there's something about this race of aliens. They've seen worlds be destroyed from bad people with powers.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking their Earth is their world is advanced enough to probably have people with powers of their own. So maybe this shit's happened to them personally. And if
that
they
would
have,
maybe that explains why they were on Krypton.
Yeah. They've
Yeah.
witnessed multiple worlds from multiple dimensions. Just
they said they
crumble.
traveled dimensions.
no. I'm assuming if they've
Okay.
seen Krypton go boom and Krypton doesn't exist in Earth 1.
Yeah.
That-
Interesting. I just assumed that they exist both in Earth 1 and in Kara's Earth.
I mean...
I assumed they were like,
Or
you
they
know,
might be just
like doppelgangers, sort of.
right.
they've
Or they
been
could
rumbled.
We-
travel through dimensions. I didn't think
we unfortunately don't know how the
No.
Earth works outside of our... Like, the universe works outside of the Earths. Like, we know the Earths exist, we know chunks of them are different, but we don't know if, like, entire planets may not be there. We don't even know if planets are part of the Earth thing, you know, whatever. Like, we don't know how any of it works. If space travel is even, like, relevant to the universe, or if space travel is, you know, like, the Earth itself. It's
Or
weird.
maybe if they're up above, like in space, they could go to any of the Earths or any of the kind of like.
Well, you
Or
would
kind of
think-
like make your own research.
Space is the lobby. Everyone else, and then you just see all these doors.
I mean, wormholes and stuff like that may be the way to get around, but I mean, you know,
yeah.
we don't know how any of that works, and through wormholes, we don't know if, like, say, there may be, quote unquote, Earth 98 that doesn't actually have Earth. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't know.
There
We
could
don't
be
know
a
for
universe
sure.
with
That's
no
something we need confirmation on. Be
And
like,
that
our
honestly-
Earth doesn't have a moon, you know, or like, I don't know. That would be weird, but yeah,
That would be weird.
On Earth 69, everyone's plants.
yeah.
We don't know.
Plant people.
They're plants.
And that's something that maybe like Cisco can't see, because if there's no Earth in a universe, he probably can't vibe it.
Right.
Right. I mean,
So there'd
doesn't
be
he
no
have
way
to
to
have
go.
some sort of connection to vibe a new Earth? Like,
Yeah.
he has to have something that was from there, or someone that was from there, in order to see.
I think he also
don't-
has to have an idea
I
of
don't
it.
know. Well, yeah, I think he has to have an idea of it, but the way that they classified Supergirl's Earth, I think they kind of don't. At the same time, like, we don't know again. And then they got HG, you know, to come through without ever being there.
Right, because they sent that message through to all Earths
Yeah.
that he can contact, basically.
Yeah.
He basically, like, he opened up a breach, and it just the
Cisco
Is a message in a bottle.
to
Yeah,
somewhere he'd
it
never
was-
been. So
and it just spread within the breach. He just opened a general breach, I guess, to
no, he opened it
all the
specific to
doors.
that Earth. He gave him locations and coordinates of where to enter. So.
No. What she means the message.
Oh,
she
the
sent.
message, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, for Wells
Got sent
himself, he gave specific coordinates to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like a message in a bottle. You're throwing it out to the vast ocean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it's like. You're just throwing.
I think. Sorry, circling back because I think I had something to say about the Dominators. If they come back, I think diplomacy is going to have to be the way to go.
Well, we 100% know that we will have Dominators in a later half of Supergirl.
Yes.
So we may get an answer on whether or not they're the same
They're
Dominators.
the same, yes.
Or, so hopefully we get that answer. I'm thinking they're not going to be. I think that it's going to be a different set of Dominators, but that does not mean that they're not linked to the same Dominators.
Yeah.
Well, and that would also bring in could possibly bring in another crossover, since they did give her a.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. If Cisco can make one of those telephones that he made, why can't the Dominators have something like that too, so they can contact their people from other Earths, like other dimensions?
Because, I mean, it is a part of technology. It's not limited to Cisco's ability as a meta.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, if the Dominators do come back, I mean, that's not going to limit maybe a Flash, Supergirl, another kind of tie over. They can bring Barry or Cisco over to hers and deal with the Dominators then. We don't know. So it's a possibility.
The fact that Kara now has this device to travel between universes kind of like worries me a little bit with the worlds merging kind of thing, but
I mean,
you mean you don't think it's gonna happen?
Not as soon as I wanted it to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And even Ollie said, if you need me, call me. So I think Ollie will be crossing over before Barry, to be honest.
There's going to be lots of crossovers now that they have established this.
Everybody knows everybody. We're all friends.
There's going to be crossovers.
Super
Maybe
friends.
the Legends all of a sudden start traveling through time. They're going to be traveling to another Earth.
I think there's a little too much wrong with time for them to be leaving this Earth.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Cross over onto Supergirl and fix her time anomalies.
Yeah. It could be like, oops, oh my god, what the hell just happened kind of thing.
The Legends go back to Krypton.
Oh god.
And let it blow up?
No. Bad idea.
Is this like trying to save Doctor Who's planet? Because that's never going to happen.
Superman and Kara will never end up on Earth.
It did happen.
Well, it's stuck in a painting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's frozen in a day.
In time.
It's friend time, yeah.
Yeah.
But it exists.
It exists.
But can you imagine if Supergirl and Kara never, or Superman and Kara never come to Earth because Krypton never explodes?
Yeah.
That'd
be weird.
That'd be an interesting crossover.
That would be a very vulnerable Earth 38.
Yeah. I gotta remember that because it's a thing. It's a real thing. It's not like our makeshift numbers.
Our made up, our made up category system.
Our made up numbers.
I gotta put a sticky
letters. Sticky note right on your monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing though.
So Stein has to work with his daughter after trying to avoid her. He is stuck working with her.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Yeah, and Caitlin remembers her. She's remembered her this whole time.
Yeah.
She's known her for years.
Okay. She knows he time travels. Okay, Caitlin knows that he doesn't.
She couldn't imagine that he'd change that.
But come on, you put 1 and 1 together, and she's not even getting 2. She's getting nothing.
The thing with Caitlin is that she knows that Stein time travels, and she knows that Stein doesn't know his daughter because in his timeline she didn't exist. But Caitlin's just trying to push them together and force it on him and making him really uncomfortable.
No, she did. She didn't know that. She didn't know. And it's how can you not know? He's acting weird towards her, and he doesn't remember things.
Well,
hold on.
Look at it.
Rachel,
look at it from Caitlin's point of view, right? You have Caitlin. Yes, she knows Stein time travels, but she also feels like she's known this girl for her whole time. The whole time that she's known Stein. She's known this girl the whole time.
3 years.
So there is no way that her first assumption is, oh, he made her through time travel.
I
Yeah.
could have sworn
Well,
he
not
said
necess-
something.
He did
Well, he did
afterwards.
Afterwards.
Yeah,
But
after she
not
said you're taking
necessarily
the
that-
absent-minded professor thing a little too far.
Yeah.
Then he told her.
Not
I swear he said something
necessarily
in the air
that
episode.
she concluded that he made her because, he's a time anomaly. But the fact that maybe something's odd, like, wait a minute, he doesn't remember these things, something, just, you would think that she'd have an inkling about it. Because there was all these clues being dropped and hinted, and she wasn't.
Well, he was just being weird, which he is weird, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but
so.
this is different. This is a different kind of weird. I mean, I would have picked it up, but that's just me.
I mean, it seemed like the Stein that existed with his daughter, they seemed pretty close.
Yeah.
Obviously, because she was a scientist, and you would have thought that Caitlin picked up on his avoidance to her
Exactly.
right away. But I mean, Caitlin's got her own shit that she's worrying about too, so she's not really focused on that.
Yeah, and he wants to go back. He wants to fix it. He wants to erase her from time.
I mean, just putting myself in Caitlin's shoes, it would not be my first assumption because then I would have to question
not.
everything. I would be like, well, everything you changed. Every single thing you've ever done, you changed. I would never be able to imagine that.
And I mean, I honestly think that's what's going through Diggle's head. It's like, you took a daughter away from me. What else has changed? My life is a lie.
Yeah. Exactly.
No.
Yeah. So.
I don't know, when you know people that go back in time and do shit like that, you're gonna have to kind of expect it. I mean, it's gonna be hard to wrap your mind around it, but at the same time.
And I completely understand where they're coming from.
When she found out, she wasn't shocked. She wasn't like, "Oh my god," whatever. Like, she got it, but it's like I said, it's not something. It's not the first thing in your head.
She's been living
It's
with
not the
that
50th
version
thing in your head, probably, either.
Right.
No,
especially
she's been
someone
living
you
with
feel
that
like
for
you've
all her
known.
life,
Yeah.
pretty much. And then
Yeah,
that's
once
just
he
natural.
told her, she did kind of snap, like everything that he was like all of a sudden it was an aha moment for her.
Yeah.
And then she had to be like, no, she's a brilliant person. You don't want to get rid of her. We don't. We need
the fact
her.
that Stein wants to keep her around. I want to keep this anomaly. I just
What?
At the end, he wants to keep it. He doesn't want to tell the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
No, he said he wanted to go back and change it. He wants to change it.
No, because he said he didn't want to lose his daughter.
Yeah.
At the very end, he decided against it. He
one
said
of
he
the
didn't
last
want to tell
scenes.
anybody.
Yeah, he
Him
told
and Jack.
Oh, so he does. No, I know. I thought he was saying I want to change it. I don't want to lose my daughter, but he thought he had to change it.
No, he wants to keep it a secret from the team. He doesn't want anyone to know.
Because he thinks that they're gonna go and fix it.
Yeah.
That's silly. They're not gonna do that.
But now we're running into the Barry situation all over again.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we just talked about this sign. No lying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jackson called him out easy. Just no.
Well, they're a little different because they're psychically linked, so he knows when something's up. I mean, he doesn't know everything that he's thinking, but he knows what he's feeling.
Yeah.
Like the paranoia and the secretiveness, he feels all that.
Yeah, but now Jackson has to keep the secret too, unless he's gonna blurb it out.
Right.
Well, I mean, this just happened, where they found the message from Barry and they wanted to keep it a secret, and. It's like, oh, let's just tell Barry, and then it turns into Barry and Ollie, and then it turns into, we have to tell everyone.
No. Cisco made them tell them.
Yeah.
That wasn't a hey,
You know what? No. Barry was fucking stupid and left the recorder on the goddamn desk.
No, Stein did it. Stein left the recorder there.
Whatever. They were all idiots. They're dumb.
So I feel like that snowball's gonna happen again.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And Sarah's gonna her shit at him.
It's kind of like, in Once Upon a Time, it's like you have a curse and you can have a curse. Well, now in this whole shenanigan is you have an anomaly and you have an anomaly and you have an anomaly.
You have a secret. You have a secret.
I mean, every show has one right now.
Sarah's gonna flip out on him. Sarah's gonna flip out. Nick's not gonna care. Not gonna care at all. Ray's
Why
gonna
she
be
was
like,
hot.
Why is Sarah gonna flip out?
because I think because she isn't going after Dark because of the anomalies, and she's thinking, well,
It was an accident.
well, I know, but I think I feel that she's going to read him the riot at it for keeping the secret to him.
Oh.
Not
Well,
telling him.
Keeping
That
the secret is keeping that secret's a lot different than going and killing Dark, who's had his fingers in absolutely almost everything.
Yeah, which is why I thought it was so hilarious when Sarah was like, "Oh, you changed time."
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's what I think is going to happen when they find out. It's just, and then Ray's going to be like, "Ooh, how?" He's going to be like all scientific about this crap. And then,
Well, yeah, because she's got the same degree as he does,
Mm-hmm.
and he's probably going to be excited to get to know her.
And then Nate's going to be going through the history books. What else has changed?
Here's the thing. Stein still doesn't remember her.
No.
Right.
He's getting the flashes though, which is kind of like it's freaking him
The
out. But
time's starting to cement.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
thing.
starting to catch up with them.
Are they gonna eventually remember her?
I
Like,
think
is
so.
that gonna be?
I think so.
If they don't change it, his memories are going to start flooding back, and then it's going to be permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing I'm worried about. The fact that it hasn't all come back means it's not solid yet.
Right.
She could disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, didn't they just go back to 19
Yeah.
whatever it was, 87, and
Mhm.
they just did that like a couple
Yeah.
episodes ago? So I
Yeah.
mean,
It's still fairly new.
mm-hmm.
That's true. I feel like it's been so long because of all the other shows, but it really
Yep.
hasn't.
It's been like a week.
Yeah.
It
2
feels like
weeks
there's
at
been
most,
like
you know?
at least
Yeah.
5 shows between that episode that we're
Man,
talking
there
about.
really isn't. No.
No,
It isn't.
no.
Okay.
But yeah.
So another thing I want to talk about is the bomb. So the bomb is specifically targeting metahumans. So it's the DNA. I feel like this has to have something to do with Medusa.
It's possible.
It does sound like it.
It's too similar not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And if it's something they're saving for later, I can understand, but I was just very shocked that nobody mentioned it. Not even, so that Supergirl didn't mention it.
What about people that, were affected by the particle accelerator that don't actually have their DNA changed? Like it's not showing up. They're not showing symptoms. Let's say like Joe. Joe was hit by the particle accelerator blast just like everybody else.
But his DNA wasn't mutated.
Right, but
The reason you become a meta is because your DNA gets mutated by it. It's not.
Other people weren't showing signs like Caitlyn, for example.
Yeah.
Like she was affected. Her DNA was coming up negative until just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So just because they wipe out all the metas, what about the people that have the potential to turn into metas?
Well,
that are
didn't they
still
say
affected?
that the bomb
Yeah,
also
and I
would
mean-
affect non-meta humans?
Yeah, it said it was
so
like 2 million non-metahumans would be
Oh, okay.
affected
Well,
by the bomb.
well, no, that's only because of the impact.
Yeah, well, I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah,
still.
2 million.
Okay,
2
yeah.
million people were going to get crushed by the explosion,
Gotcha.
and then the whatever was in the bomb was going to affect the rest of the world.
Mhm.
But it's like the meteor that killed the dinosaurs.
Right.
It made a giant crater,
You
but
mean the
covered
meta
the entire-
dino bomb that the Dominators dropped?
yes.
They were scared of.
Because all the meta
T-Rexes.
T-Rexes with laser eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn,
yes, I
Ray
distinctly
fixed them with
remember
lasers on their head.
I distinctly remember that happening in this episode.
Uh-huh,
Good-
me
good-
too.
Good catch.
Yep.
One.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, in chat, Brian brought up about, Legends going back in time. It's a little different. Legends go back in time to fix anomalies, not necessarily their own timeline.
They're
And
fixing things
these-
that
these
are already
broken. They're
Yeah.
putting
Yeah.
things back the way they're supposed to be.
trying.
They're
to put-
trying to.
Right.
The best
But
they can.
In
They're not.
theory, they're putting things back the way they're supposed to be.
I'm
They're not
really
changing
surprised they
stuff
haven't
that-
changed more than they have at this point.
This is very true.
So
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I think they might be. I mean, realistically, I think they might be a little scared too. I think
Well, I just
still.
mean some of the things that they do and go out there and they're like when they went to Roman times to just recently get I don't remember who was stranded there in the first episode this season, and they're firing off guns and turning into flaming people. and all this stuff. And how is this not changing, like ancient Greek statues having firestorm, carved into them and
it might be it'd be mythological. It'd be just tales.
And what was that? Nate walking into just a group of cowboys and going steal. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, they're still not careful at all about it.
Yeah.
No.
So they're creating their own anomalies, and I'm surprised that they're not having more drastic effects on the world, because of it.
Well, at that time, because there's no proof, it's just stories at those times. People can chalk it up to just old wives' tales, or just stories you told around the campfire.
Didn't they have a run-in with a bunch of Nazis, like Hitler's men and stuff? That would kind of reverb.
It might,
into the future.
Or just saving one person that's not supposed to be saved, or one person takes a casualty that they're not supposed to be taking.
Yeah, like Jack saved a whole bunch of slaves on that plantation.
Right. So now, if those slaves were supposed to have died, and they didn't, now say each of those slaves has one child, you go down the ripple effect, and there's potential 50 new human beings that were not supposed to be here.
Yeah, we don't know. They haven't showed, but I mean, I'm just saying that's their job, though. Their job is to fix things that
I think the writers are just being like, yeah, they did it, so let's move on.
Kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
And then again, it might be such an insignificant thing that it really didn't not as big of a ripple as we thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Or they died 5 minutes after they left the planet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Or the timeline.
They could have all had TB or something and died. We don't know.
So next week the episode is called The Chicago Way. The Legion of Doom, guys.
This is the mid-season finale now?
We're getting the Legion of Doom. When a new time aberration is discovered by the Legends. What?
The WWF Legion of Doom?
No.
Get out.
All right, now go on.
The Legends find themselves headed to 1927 Chicago. They quickly realize they have been set up by Eobard Thawne, Damien Dark, and the newest member of the Legion of Doom, Malcolm Merlin. While everyone is trying to help fix what they think is the mission, Jax encourages a reluctant Stein to share his secret with the other Legends. Stein is taken captive, and Sarah must make the tough choice of either stopping the Legion of Doom or saving Stein.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean,
meanwhile, Rory gets an unexpected visitor, and he is not sure how to handle it.
Snot.
It's not.
I think he's hallucinating.
I think so too. I think he was in one of his drunken states.
Yeah.
No, it's gotta be something a little bit more hectic than being drunk. Because he would have saw Snart more than us.
Get that out of here.
It's the Legion of Doom.
I think it's probably Merlin, because Merlin's got his crazy
his
Legion
herbs.
Yeah, exactly. League of Assassin fucking poisons and shit. He must have done it to Ollie at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know, it could be a side effect of whatever it is they got stuck with, because Nate and what's-her-face couldn't turn into their powers. Maybe.
That's true.
It could have been a residual effect. They don't know what they got stuck with.
Right. Now, do we know when in the timeline this is going to take place?
What timeline?
The Legends. Like, when the Legion of Doom is involved. Did
They're
it
in
say
1927 Chicago.
27. Because we know for the previews that Snart is back.
Not back. That's what we were talking about.
Well, we were just saying
right.
That I think it's a hallucination.
Okay.
So he's not really back.
But what other characters do you think from the Legion that we could be getting?
From 1927?
Well, I mean, Malcolm Merlin is not, Eobard grabbed him.
Right.
Put him in the little weird hamster ball with Dark. Rolled him into the past.
Yeah, but
it looks like a hamster.
With Eobard, though, he can go around to any point in time that he wants to collect any of these people.
Yeah. Solomon Grundy?
Brainiac.
Hmm.
I think we need a little more setup for Brainiac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grodd.
No, Grodd has to be
Grodd's
in
in the
Flash.
wrong Earth right now.
Yeah, depending on when in the timeline he nabbed him from.
Oh.
I mean, we know that Grodd makes his way back to Earth 1.
He doesn't have to grab them from present day, wherever they are now to pull them into the past. He can grab them from the past and pull them further into the past.
And there's also the Toyman, which is
yes,
which is Wynn's dad.
Right. So now we're in interdimensional travel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So.
I just want to see a Grodd and Supergirl showdown. Because that was my favorite comic growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't know.
Maybe they'll borrow Enigma from Gotham.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was just thinking that might be tricky for them to get Batman villains.
Yeah.
In a universe without Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Can we not do Batman?
Well, he's.
I don't know. He's got some great villains.
He really
Villains
does.
fine. Can we just not do anything?
It's gonna happen. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
We don't need any the nipple suit or anything like that.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Cisco would be designing the suit.
Oh God. No more suits.
Cisco and Fox would get into a fight about the suit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so that's it for this episode. Rachel, where can they find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Savannah17. Right there. Right here.
Nikki, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Dom, where can they find you?
Find me down below at Phenomenon. PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon.
Do 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 do.
You can find me at Clio Moto, and you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+,
Nice.
and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time, bye-bye.
Oh, you know something bothered me about Sarah? She's like, I'm not good at anything. All I do is punch and stab people. And there she is, flying the fucking Wave Rider and saving the Earth from the fucking bomb. Like, come on.
That's true.
The transmutated bomb.
Yeah.
I think she was also being sassy. Because
she
Cisco-
seemed pretty sincere. I think she's under, she's not giving herself enough credit still.